Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Alain. We're going to talk about decluttering, letting go of things, getting rid of stuff, memories that maybe those things contain, share a few of my memories and some of the things I'm getting rid of, and maybe help you along your journey so you can then just go out and enjoy more of life. And always we're going to do that safely. So that's sort of the theme of today's show. Drinking with my buddy Yoda. So I got him on the mug today. And as I've mentioned, I've been purging and going through stuff. Get rid of things so it's not left to my daughter to deal with when I'm gone. Clear up space in case we decide to move or go somewhere. It'll be easier. And just don't need all the stuff. I've been really downsizing the library, even though it's still huge. But I've been going through a lot of other stuff too. I mean, going through some drawers, I found 3 of these golden key lapel pins. Why do I have 3? Because back in college, when Golden Key came to the University of Montana, we're looking to start a chapter, and Golden Key is an honor society. They wanted to start a chapter, and they came to the Honor Student Association that was affiliated with the Honors College, asking some of the students there if they wanted to help form this chapter at the University of Montana. And I was one of those students. And I was the Golden Key president for 3 years at the University of Montana, the first 3 years of its existence. So I got a pin each year. Also got the Golden Key Honor Society medallion. I wore it during graduation and then put it back in the box, and it's been in this box along with these lapel pins ever since. You know, I found these along with it. I had 3 of these. These were the President's Recognition Award. So the Presidential Award given by the president of the university from different organizations, different departments around campus. 3 different departments around campus chose me as the senior to get that award that year. So I had these 3 around my neck. I had this around my neck. I had all these little lapel pins. And ever since then, they've been in a drawer or a box if I was moving. Time to get rid of them, right? You know, I had these honor cord that I wore during graduation, and there's the tassel from my high school graduation. Don't need those either. You know, I have all these different name tags from different jobs. You know, the Center for Leadership Development, when I ran that, when I was an attorney with Alps. So all these different name tags from old jobs that I'm not going back to, and I'm not going to wear these, but they were in a drawer. Time to get rid of them. You know, what was this? This was, another lapel pin from Leadership Missoula. I also found this plaque, really nice plaque, but it was in a drawer. It's not on a wall anywhere. Leadership Missoula. A certificate awarded to Alan Breeze for successfully completing the Leadership Missoula program. You know, it's nice, but it's been in a drawer ever since I completed it back in 2005. So 21 years. I don't need it. This one I'm not going to donate because it has my name on it. I'll probably just throw it away. I don't need it. Another one has my name on it that it's been in a drawer since 2009, and that was from the Community Dispute Resolution Center for a dedication of the work that I did with the CDRC. But it's been in a drawer. I never hung it up. I don't envision myself ever hanging it up or putting it anywhere. So why keep it in a drawer? Why just have clutter? Time to get rid of them, right? Now, these 2 are a little tougher to get rid of. I've had them a lot longer. Now, I got 2 berets, and you notice the flash on there. And the flash is the patch. And then this one actually has the crest, too. The crest is the metal pin, and the flash is the patch. That one actually has a lieutenant bar on there. No, I wasn't a lieutenant, and I'll get to that. When I started with the 82nd Airborne Division, I was assigned there in 1986. We were the first of the 508. So that is the crest and the flash for the first of the 508. One day, the Army was restructuring things like they do, I had this beret on, and I had this beret. It didn't have the lieutenant bar. It actually had a crest on there as well in my pocket. And all of us went out on the parade field, everybody in the battalion, and all together we took off the first of the 508 beret and we put on the third of the 505th. And we put these berets on, and that was our new unit designation. So if you were writing a letter to me back then, because you didn't have email and that kind of stuff, the only way you could contact me was through a letter. It went from my address, first of the 508 to third of the 505. And we had the new flash and a new crest, and I don't have that crest on there. So why do I have a lieutenant bar on there? Well, so both of these are berets that I wore in the 82nd. When I went to South Korea, I had this beret with me in my military stuff. I didn't wear a beret when I was in Korea. I wasn't with the 82nd any longer. But when I was with sniper school, and I went back as an assistant instructor, the instructors and assistant instructors, when we went out on the field exercise, we played the OP4 guerrillas. And so the students would have an assignment. And for instance, maybe their assignment was to go to grid coordinate, whatever, set up an observation, and it would have been maybe a little village down there or a road intersection or something, and take out targets of opportunity. And then they had to identify which targets and what they would see and before they took those targets out. I used to wear this beret with the lieutenant bar, and then I had other non-United States Army clothes on. So, I mean, I wasn't impersonating an officer. I was not wearing a uniform, but I had the beret with the lieutenant bar so the students could identify that they saw an officer, because I would be higher on the criteria to kill if I was with a sergeant or two or something else. Now, if I was with Greg, who was the head instructor of sniper school, and he wore a colonel on his baseball cap, he would be a higher target than me, the lieutenant. So they'd want to take him out first before they took out me. So that is why I wore the lieutenant bar when I was doing the OP4 exercises at sniper school. And I don't remember where the third of the 505 crest that was on here originally. So when I kept the berets after I got out of the military, I had the original 508 with the crest, and I had the 505 with the lieutenant bar. And they have been in a box or a drawer ever since I was in the military. And I've not worn them since, and it's time to let them go. But I thought I'd share that interesting story, interesting to me, maybe interesting to you, I hope so, of why I have these different berets and why I had the lieutenant bar on one. And the real thing too is this is helping me get rid of some things, but I hope it would encourage you to maybe look at what you're holding on to, whether it's physical possessions like these, whether it's emotional baggage that maybe is holding you down and cluttering up your life. A lot of people do that as well. Get rid of things, let things go, keep things that you enjoy, use, and fulfill you, both physically and emotionally, to help your life drive on in a positive, fulfilling, enjoyable time that you have here on this planet. We all only have so much time. We want to fill it with things that we enjoy, that we use, that we benefit from, that we gain from, and get rid of things that no longer serve that purpose in your life. So you can bring in new things that will serve the purpose, because we're all changing and going through life in different stages, different things that we do. I'm definitely in a downsizing, clutter clearing stage to free myself to do more, to possibly move if I decide to move, and not to leave stuff for my wife and daughter to deal with when I'm gone. And you say, oh, I don't want to think about that. Well, we all have to think about that. And being someone who has gone through mountains of stuff when somebody has passed away, I don't want to leave mountains of stuff when I'm gone. You might have different thoughts on that, but just something to think about. And I hope this inspires you and motivates you to clear out clutter, physical and emotional, so you can enjoy more of the present. I'm going to say good morning to Dixon. Dixon said, Throwback Thursday equals less clutter. Thanks, Dixon. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Vicky. Appreciate you guys being here. Good morning, Robert. Robert said hello to Dixon and Jay and myself. Thank you for saying hello, Robert. Jay said, super right. Dixon said, aw, shucks. I thought you were going to show the Raspberry Beret CD as well. I was joking around with Dixon yesterday. I got rid of five banker boxes completely full of cassette tapes. I don't listen to cassettes much anymore, even though I have a couple cassette players. I do listen to some of the educational ones, but I don't listen to the music as much. And I thought it's time to get rid of these. And there's actually a market for cassette tapes. A lot of people are still buying them and listening to them. Watched an episode of Law and Order last night with my wife. It was a week or so ago. We had it recorded and we watched it last night. And the kids were buying old stuff, and they included buying some cassette tapes. And there was a recorded one that had a murder recorded and such, and they gave it over to the police. But it was just interesting that, yeah, kids and younger ones are buying these old cassette tapes. And I just got rid of 5 banker boxes worth yesterday. But when I joking around with Dixon, I said, yeah, I had to get rid of a couple old berets, and I'm even getting rid of the Prince cassette tape that had Raspberry Beret on it, which I did because I had Prince cassettes, and I said 5 banker boxes. There was almost 900 cassettes that I got rid of yesterday, including Prince with Raspberry Beret. So I appreciate that, Dixon. The kind you find at a secondhand store, Robert said. Exactly. That's the Raspberry Beret. And I had that cassette that I got rid of. And so getting rid of these maroon berets from the 82nd as well. Fond memories of jumping out of airplanes. Fonder memories of the men I served with. The brothers that I jumped out of airplanes with and served with in the 82nd. A bunch of fine individuals. But I have those memories. I don't need these left over. I hope that was entertaining a little bit, shared a little bit about me personally, but I hope it resonates with you and maybe it can help you declutter, bring more good into your life that you're going to use, enjoy, and be in the present and get rid of some of the clutter from the past. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Go have a throwback Thursday. We'll be back to see you tomorrow.